You're listening to the KATcast, a weekly podcast from the staff you love to listen to each weekday on 94.3 Cat Country. Killian Hart and Jordan J. Now, here they are, talking about life, love, and everything mid-Missouri.
Another episode of the KATcast today. I am back at this one. No longer have a sick kid, so that's fantastic. Sick
Makes a difference.
Yes.
Yes, it does. Well, it's always more fun with three of us in here than
it is,
two.
right?
As much as I enjoy it, Aaron and I see each other every morning, so you know what I mean? It's nice to bring in the
You're like, I'm getting sick.
Young Jordan J.
No, today I thought a good topic would be talking about the mysterious, the unknown, things that happened or have happened to us that we can't quite explain. Now, I know
supernatural.
Yeah, the supernatural. I would say. I know Kevin's got a very strong opinion on this. Not that I feel like you'll be able to contribute.
Okay, you finish. I don't.
I was going to say. I was like, I'm happy to get your perspective on these. Is what that's what's going to be fun about this for me.
I don't know that I'd call it a strong opinion. I just say that because I know there are people who say, "Ooh, I saw a ghost," or "Oh, I saw something." Old Aunt Martha came back to visit me, or whatever. So, okay, I'm not going to try to explain that away to you or anything. I'm just saying that I'll acknowledge that there are things that we don't understand.
Yeah.
I will even acknowledge that there are other worlds and planes around us that we can't see.
Yeah.
But I'm just not as entranced.
Here's the thing, Kevin. I was like you until I had some things happen to me that were like just too, like, I was like, okay, this is too strange, and I can't explain what's happening. I've had it happen to me multiple times, and I'm like, okay. And other people were around, too, to experience said things. Mm-hmm. So I know I wasn't crazy.
Well, I think we should hear from our resident supernatural/ghost fan, Aaron.
Miss Aaron Hart.
What, just because I like to read about it?
Yeah, or, and you like going on
Have
ghost tours.
Have you had anything weird ever happen to you that you're just like, this is strange, I can't explain this?
I've had lots of weird things happen. When I was a kid, I woke up in the middle of the night to find a dude in a jean jacket sitting on the edge of my bed. And I'm like, well, this isn't normal. I was probably 8 at the time. Mm-hmm. No visitors at home. Mom and dad wasn't like they had, a friend stay over or something like that. And I remember him looking at me and doing this. And then I blinked and he was gone. Mm-hmm. And I was fully awake.
Really?
Yeah. And did not sleep the rest of the night. I lived on a house on High Street here in Jeff City. And I know that, and I found this out later, that the woman whose husband had built the house for her originally had passed away in what was our then dining room. And there was a big chandelier, and that was one of the things that I fell in love with about this house, is just walking around and all the cool old details.
Yeah.
Like, it still had the original chandelier in the dining room. And when you say that, you're like, oh, that was a fancy house. It is a 2-story, brick house. It just had a lot of really cool features. And I had cats at the time. And the cats would, and this is before I knew anything, they would go into this dining room. Like, you would shut the doors, they would figure out how to get in, and hop up on that dining room table and look up at that chandelier and just meow for hours. Just, rah, rah. I mean, it was,
Really?
The upstairs bathroom, both cats refused to go into. You could pick them up and they would go into any room in the house.
Right.
This one, they refused and would just claw you to shreds if you tried to take them into
What's
into
wrong
the
with
bathroom.
you? I tried to bring the cats into the room. They're bleeding.
I saw my former father-in-law in the middle of the night in what we buried him in. Mm-hmm. And I took that as a good sign. No, that marriage quickly fell apart shortly after that. Let's see. In the same house, we would, the kitchen was downstairs. So a lot of times I would bring a cup of water upstairs.
Yeah.
And I would set it on the banister, and it was wide, thinking, okay, the next morning I'll grab that and walk down the stairs with it, put it away.
Yeah.
I woke up multiple times in the middle of the night to, like, somebody had just gone flick, and I could hear it bouncing down the stairs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See,
and then another time.
Right. Go ahead.
And the bathroom door had been shut because I'm like, I'll just keep it shut since the cats don't go in there anyway. You know, I went in there and used the restroom, went to get toilet paper, and the toilet paper was completely off the roll and had been folded back and forth, the entire roll.
First of all, I'd be complaining about who used all the toilet paper, but that's a whole nother problem, I guess.
Yeah.
Because that ticks me off.
When you gotta go,
at the very least, leave another one on top ready to go.
Right.
Because ghosts can be very inconsiderate like that, I would tell you. Look, here's the thing. This is why I don't, though, poo-poo anybody's experience, because I will concede that, again, you know, and I'm going to approach this from a scriptural standpoint. The Bible says there are demons. There are forces of evil in a battle constantly with the forces of good. There are angels and demons in a war. We can't see it. It's on a plane and a level that we are not aware of. Mm-hmm. So I will acknowledge that there are things that we can't explain, and when we see it, we're freaked out by it. Mm-hmm. But again, there's also a certain entertainment factor that goes on with this, and I think there are people that try to exploit that.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. You know, I know what you're talking about. Like, you know, what are those like shows, those movies, like the Ghost Hunters or like something like that, where most of the time it's just them freaking themselves out, and they're like, "We caught something. Here it is," and it's like. Well, it's very far-fetched if you're like, that kind of sounds like high, but they like try to convince you that that's what it was.
Think about even when you were a kid, and I don't mean your thing, Aaron, but I'm just saying in general, kids, you know, because I remember my brother and sister and I, you know, we'd be like, we're in this room, and it's all, and the dark, and lights off. Oh, I heard something, you know, like that. I mean, like you scare yourself, you bring yourself to it. I get that.
Did you ever used to do like Bloody Mary as a kid? You know, where it's like
I never
you stand in front of the mirror and you
became
say
an adult.
Yeah,
I swear, I never heard of that.
Well, good thing because it was terrifying as kids.
Well, also at my parents' place, and this is the one that's in New Bloomfield, the one where they live now. My mom had gone in for double knee replacement. And so I'd gone out for Thanksgiving dinner and had helped Dad make Thanksgiving dinner. It was me and my brothers and my then ex-husband. And we had decided, we're going to go see Mom. They were like, hey, can you clean up? Yeah, sure, no problem. So it was just me and my ex, in the house. I had finished up. I said, okay, you ready to go? And he was like, yeah. And he just gets up and gets ready to walk out. And so I joked, oh, you're just going to leave the TV on? What are you doing? The TV was still on. So we went to turn it off. So I had the remote in my hand. I turned it off, and all of a sudden he goes, oh, my God, Aaron. And I look, and there was a man in a suit standing in what used to be my brother's bedroom in the doorway. And I just go, shut up, I see him. And it's like, it was weird because it's like I didn't know what to say. So all I said was, you're late.
And when was this?
This was Thanksgiving, so you figure I was divorced in 2012. So I'm trying to remember.
So you were a fully grown adult, obviously. You weren't.
A lot of these experiences, I was a fully grown adult.
See, so I had like when I was a little kid, kind of what you had situation where so I was in my Barney bunk bed. This was like I could have been 3 years old.
It could be scary.
It's gonna be scary. Barney popped out of nowhere. No. But so I was like 3 maybe. And I still remember this very, very vividly. So I was having this nightmare of this like man that's like in a top hat, but like the hat was like covering his eyes, right? I couldn't see his eyes.
So it wasn't Abe Lincoln.
Well, but like kind of like an Abe Lincoln hat, kind of, right? But like he slowly like looks up and this like red eyes, right? Like, and I mean like shadowy trench coat figure with this top hat, and then as soon as he had red eyes, so terrifying, right?
All I can think of is a WB frog.
Well, I know. WB.
No, that's not. I don't mean to take away from the terror of your story.
That would have been great.
Mine's always working on bad little jokes.
That actually might have been worse. but no, this entity, and then I wake up, right? I'm having this nightmare, but in the corner of my room, the same guy looking right at me. And I mean real life. Like it was there. Yikes. I was fully awake, staring at me. I can't tell you the uneasy feeling I had. Immediately sprinting my mom's room, I remember waking her up, jumping on her waterbed, and then she comes in and like nothing's there. But there was something there. Also, another crazy like moment of mine. So I graduated from CMU, Central Methodist University, which is technically one of like the most haunted universities in
Is that the one with the old dog?
There's all sorts of crazy.
You know what
stories.
I'm talking about?
I know
There's
what you're
like a dog
about.
mascot. There's a whole story about how the dog died.
There's something like that.
Statue.
Yeah, but
Is that CMU?
I don't think so. I don't think that's.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of.
But
what's
there,
in Fayette?
There's a lot of things.
I don't know.
There's
Anyway,
but so we had basically this. It's like a music hall, right? And like one of like the stories is like there's this guy that passed away there before I guess he got to perform this concert. And like he wanders like at nighttime, like around the music hall, like and he like apparently he says like, oh, it's a nice night for a concert, isn't it, or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like people have like spotted this dude. Like
Wow.
there's a painting of this guy.
Yeah.
In the music hall.
Yeah.
So it's like, but anyway, there's all sorts of other crazy things. But
We've kind of talked, in previous podcasts about, urban legends, urban myths, and everything.
Yeah,
In fact, I mean, where I come from, Jersey,
Yeah.
you have the Jersey
Yeah,
Devil.
sure.
Again, he supposedly wanders through the woods of the Pine Barrens, and that's his whole thing.
So we had like the coolest professors. They would like, if we had like a project or finals coming up, they'd let us like stay in the library like past 1 a.m. Like they'd stay there specifically to be like, all right, you all can study, yada yada yada. Well, we were there one night, and I kid you not, it was like 3 a.m., 3 a.m. We were getting ready to leave. But one of my professors comes running, like ghost face, and he was like, I'm like, what's wrong? And he goes, I'm hearing stuff out there. And I'm like, what do you mean? We're in here, we're making noise. And he goes, no, that's not what I'm talking about. And so we go out there, and everything's locked up. Like, you got to remember, like, the staff of the library, they go and make sure every door's locked. Like, we were there after hours, so we're the only ones there at this point. I go to this room that's like locked, right? And I sit there, I'm like jiggling it, and I give it a knock, and I kid you not, giant knock from the other side.
Wow.
Now.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I freak out. I run in and I'm like, no way, this is real. No way. Okay. It was a unit inside there, maybe one of the AC units inside there kicking on at just the right time when I knocked. And that was what I thought the knock was.
Right.
Well, that's not what it was. I get more people to come with me. So my professor, all my friends.
Well, you don't want to go alone.
Yeah,
right?
I don't want to go alone. I do the same thing. I jiggle the door handle. I give another knock. Again, another knock from the other side. Again, no one was there, right? It was just us. Everyone starts freaking out. I look around. I'm like, everyone heard that, right? And then one of my buddies, he's like, runs out. He's like, I don't mess with ghosts. Like, everyone was done that night. I can't explain.
At the end, did someone pull a mask off old Mr. Kowalski? And I would have gotten away with it, too.
But it is, that library was creepy, man. Like, if you were there after hours, you'd hear, like, what sounded like file cabinets getting drug around, like, in this crate, and you're like, there's nothing but professors' offices up there, and, like, no one else is here. Mm-hmm. So it's creepy.
I worked at a spa and salon here in town before I got into radio, and I was there by myself at night all the time. I was the one that closed. And you'd go around, you'd vacuum, and you'd go and straighten up the rooms, get the trash from all the rooms and all that other stuff. And there was multiple times you'd hear it sound like somebody running up and down the stairs. You stick your head out,
nothing.
There'd be nothing there.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
See, that's
But I mean, it's like
too.
once something it's not like you walk around and stuff happens all the time.
No, it's just
all
random.
very random,
Right.
weird stuff. But one thing that I have noticed since I had my pulmonary embolism, I've not experienced one thing.
Really?
You've been exercised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it that. I mean, it's almost like a door's been closed or something.
Something like that, yeah. Mm-hmm. The last crazy thing that happened to me was...
Which is interesting because that's in your brain, right?
What?
The pulmonary embolism?
No, pulmonary embolism of blood clots all throughout my lungs.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was based in your brain and they have to... Oh, okay.
You mean the pituitary tumor?
I don't know. There was something with your brain going on.
That would be a pituitary
Okay.
tumor at
Okay.
the base of my brain.
Which you
too.
still have.
That too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Maybe that's what it is. But no, it's... I'm trying to think, like, the most recent thing that happened to me was... I was like asleep, almost. Not quite asleep. I was almost asleep thinking maybe I'm like dreaming something. I wake up, though, to go to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. I come back down. I lay my head down on a pillow, and all I hear is, hey. And so I turn over from where I hear the whisper in my ear, and it's just this lady laying on the pillow next to me. Like, she is. And then I freak
me.
out, and it's gone.
no, not like that.
No, unfortunately not. Scary looking, decaying face. But just
yeah, no, that's not.
So
and I kid you not, I don't know how to explain it, Kevin.
Yeah.
Again, I was like, I was tired, but I fully woke up to go to the bathroom. I don't understand it. And as much as I like freaked out and like what the heck was that? Gone. Like,
So I had something similar happen, but without seeing somebody.
really?
I was just on the cusp of sleep when you hear this surprise. Freaked me out.
Well, you guys have clearly had more encounters with the supernatural than I have. So, I mean,
I don't understand.
Your stories are way more interesting than mine. I'm telling you, I lead a pretty dull life apparently compared to you two. So,
Some of us are tormented. Some of us are blessed.
I guess so. Well, look, here's the thing: if you have a similar story like Jordan and Aaron are talking about, we would love to hear it, share it. I mean, maybe you think, oh, it was just something silly, it was in my mind, or maybe you think there was something really going on. KATcountry@mailzimmer.com and share it with us.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully, if you do have a haunting, Kevin, it's like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
I just want to be friends.
Hi, Kevin. I love you.
I want a Scooby-Doo moment if that's the case, because again, I want to pull the mask off old man Kowalski.
Nah, you'll get a ghost that kick you in the shin.
Probably.
What's the Wi-Fi password?
Oh, those are my kids. That's my kids whenever they come over, Thanks for joining us for this edition of the KATcast. Hey, be sure to subscribe if you see a subscribe button on here.
Absolutely.
I don't know what you're watching it on or hearing it on, but click the subscribe button. We really appreciate it. We need all the support we can get.
Give us the old thumbs up.
You've been listening to the KATcast, your weekly dose of fun from the staff you know and love on 94.3 Cat Country. Click subscribe and never miss an episode. Share it on social media and tell your friends with 94.3 Cat Country.